I'm here at the Marangu Gate, where I'll be starting my 44-mile, 13,000 vertical foot climb up to and back on Kilimanjaro. I also think that I found the source of every grade school volcanic art project. Seriously, they love making these cement replicas of their volcanoes, and it looks like every single third grader science project. We're here waiting, filling out paperwork, cutting through the red tape with a machete, getting ready to go. A lot goes into this, but you know, at the very end you'll get a t-shirt, and that's something you can wear at dinner parties to start conversations.
The Marangu Route is the oldest route on Mount Kilimanjaro and used to be the busiest of all 7 routes on the mountain. With a round trip of 5 days, Marangu offers the quickest path to the top and is the only route with huts.
I just want to check what you have in the bags in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I've been here, because...
You just want me to walk through it?
Yep.
All right. That was interesting. I've never gone through a metal detector to go on a mountain trail before. And then I was asked if my bag was safe. If you're into forest soaking, this trail is a good old-fashioned soak, but it's gradual and it's basically a 2-lane pedestrian highway in terms of quality and upkeep. A little bit more traffic than I thought, but probably less traffic than usual. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's how I got malaria.
Day 1 is over. Welcome to Mandara Hut. 2,700. Our home tonight. Here I'm a cruise.
Yeah. Well done.
They wanted to give me a shared space, a communal space, but my guide, sensing the type of person I was, argued and got me my own A-frame. This place even has Wi-Fi. So it's the 4 seasons of huts. I managed to make it through another night in Africa, even though there was this weird animal, and all night long it was making a sound like it was clearing its throat. 6:30, Camp 1, headed up the Marangu Route up Kilimanjaro. Yesterday was insanely easy, just a handful of miles and maybe 2,800 feet of climbing. Today will be a little bit more climbing, but also not much distance-wise. Got our first glimpse of the summit from the trail. Looks actually pretty far off. And I got to see that 1,000-meter section that everyone online complains so much about. I'm sure when I'm trudging up it in the early hours of the day, I'll also have some negative thoughts. But from this distance, it doesn't look half as bad as what people say. Short day today, headed up to Horombo Camp. Should be a couple miles, a couple thousand feet of vert, a couple candy bars, a couple spring energy packets, a couple thousand steps. This trail is a never-ending conveyor belt of people, porters, cooks, guides, coming and going, one after the other, hauling people's crap up the hill. We're out of the jungle. Not really a jungle guy, so every time I get out of the trees, I feel so much better. Just coming up on Harombo Hut. 8-mile day, roughly 3,000 feet of climbing, and one of the best days I've had so far. I just decided to go ahead of my guide. It's illegal here to be on the trails without a guide, but I figure he's 10 or 15 minutes behind me. Makes me feel like I'm alone, especially after all the baggage trains passed us on the way down. It's been almost empty for the second half of this section. So yeah, got here, I don't know, 12 o'clock, very casual day. I do wonder if I'm going to be questioned about the whereabouts of my guide when I get up here.
Yeah. So now we are at Harombo, 3,720. 4 hours walking today. Was good and nice.
Well, I'm back in my hut. My mattress only has one crusty stain, so win. That's a win. Got to find something to do now for the next 7 hours as I wait for this day to end so I can go up to the next hut and then summit and then go all the way back down to the first hut. Just getting ready to go to bed here in my own personal A-frame, and then tomorrow up to the last hut, Kibo Hut, which sits around, I don't know, 16,000 feet or so. Then summit day, and then back down to the first hut. And then back to Arusha, where I will buy a mediocre pizza from Pizza Hut. It is cold and windy out there, and it was windy all night. The wind would come through here, along the ceiling, and right into my sleeping bag. The wagon train is getting ready to disembark. Cooks, porters, guides, reluctant climbers all headed up higher. Some of these people look really sick, but they've got someone here wandering around, and if you look sick, he gives you a pulse ox test. So they're not messing around. Right now I'm just waiting for my porridge to be warmed up. I've already packed all my stuff. I saw the sunrise. I can see the summit of Kilimanjaro. Our plan today is to do a handful of miles and a handful of vertical feet up to Kibo Hut. Go to bed, wake up at 1:30, summit, and then go all the way back down to the first hut. Total vert up is 13,000 feet. So that'll mean we're going down about 10,000, potentially tomorrow. I'm trying to get my guide to stick to that plan because he seems really reluctant to do it.
Paparazzi!
This right here is the first good view of Kili, as the cool kids call it, and it looks so close. It looks like a nice day hike from here, but I have to keep telling myself that it is 19,000 feet, so not child's play, although children have climbed it. I'm in Kibo Hut, which is more of a compound. Lots of rooms, buildings, pretty comfortable sleeping conditions for 15.5. Not a bad hike, 6 miles, 3,000 feet of climbing. Tomorrow looks tough. Looks like an eternal slog up a scree slope. I've read online that it broke a lot of people going up that mentally. Blowing like a gale out there. I've got Kilimanjaro behind me. This path you see in the gravel, basically it's just one big steep path all the way to the rim. And at the crater rim you walk across to the high point and you're on the roof of Africa. Once I realized somebody had to carry my stuff and that I couldn't carry it myself, I decided to throw in a paperback. So I was glad to have that book, but I finished it. And then I just sat in my room quietly with my hands in my lap. Sitting quietly is one of the things I do really well. And now I'm just waiting for dinner, which I don't really want to eat. Not because I'm not hungry, but because what I really would like to put in my mouth is a hot slice of pizza and not whatever it is they're going to be serving me. The morning has arrived, just barely. It's like 12:45. I've got a multicolored, look at this. Looks like one of those fancy Instagram cakes. Got every layer on and probably will be taking most of them off the first 35-40 minutes. But yeah, just tidying up my bag and then getting ready to go to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. The actual, what I feel like is the real mountain. Gonna be leaving here at 15,500 feet-ish and go up to 19,300 in a bit. So yeah, expect breathing to be labored as we ascend that hill.
Summit night, Kilimanjaro. Here we are.
Going up what feels like a sand dune here for the last little bit. We are 3/4 of the way up what some would say is the most grueling part of this mountain. Basically, you go 18 miles very gradually to get to the point of Kibo, and then you do 3 miles very painfully up this loose rock. And it is just a train, a conga line of people suffering behind us. Even at Chitty's poly pace, we've been able to pass people. Gilman Point. Old Gil got this point named after him, so congratulations to him. I'm sure he's dead. We're just shuffling along up to 18,005, and we're shuffling like we're headed to the gallows pole, but what we're really doing is running out the clock on the night and hoping to get to the top when the sun comes out. All right, we're just taking the last couple steps up to the roof of Africa, and we're getting some great undercast. Looks amazing. We slow rolled it across the crater rim, and we're getting here just at sunrise. We were a little worried we might be late, but 19,300 feet, I feel great. I feel a lot better on this mountain than Chimborazo. The absence of skis really helpful when climbing up at high altitudes. Yeah, just gonna take the final steps here to the summit. High five, get the classic picture in front of that sign, and then go down. Okay, we're here at the sign. Chitty's doing what people do at this sign. Put up more stuff. Shirts, in this case. Flags are popular. The sun finally came out. Crater behind me. People coming along the crater rim. Back there. Got a nice looking glacier. Very handsome glacier behind me, right over there. Got a little lull in the crowd, so kind of have it to ourselves. We're taking the opportunity to put t-shirts on the sign and flags to represent everyone who couldn't come. 19,341 feet. And now it's time to go back down before the crowds amass once again. This descent down to Kibo Hut is great. Soft, just sand. My knees are going to thank me for going down this. All packed up, just wait for everyone else to get packed up. And then we're gonna head down to Camp 1, which is about 12 or 13 miles away. Really enjoyed the route today, although I would make one change if I could. I think I would name that route the Trail of Tissues, because that trail is littered with tissue paper and the occasional human turd. The guy I was with almost sat down and won. That would have been terrible. But other than that, no complaints. 4.5 stars, 3 cucumbers.
Mount Kilimanjaro is unlike any other mountain I've climbed. The guides, porters, cooks, and huts create a delightfully bloated experience that I'm sure some people love. This highly structured and restrictive setup has allowed people as young as 8 and as old as 88 to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. But as someone with little to no chill, I found the experience to be beyond frustrating. And just when I thought things couldn't get any more awkward between me and my guide, I was treated to the tipping ceremony.
We conquer the summit, we kill it.
Geni wetu bomba, bomba bomba. Geni wetu bomba, bomba bomba. Tunampenda, bomba.
Luckily, I had read about the tipping ceremony online. First, they hand you a certificate of climbing completion from the Kilimanjaro National Park. Then the porters, cooks, and guide sing a traditional Tanzanian tipping song. The singing is meant to lube up the tipping mechanism by creating a sentimental sense of camaraderie. But if you thought standing at the cash register with the tip option on the screen and the cashier watching your every move was awkward, I can promise you that sitting there alone while a group of people whose service you never requested sing to you in anticipation of tipping them, it is a 10-time awkwardness multiplier. And I was so glad when it was over. Although I do have to say, I did kinda like the song. And it is possible my Scrooge-like heart grew 3 sizes that day. So thanks guys for the song.
Wow, James, I think your calling in life is not